to our map making camp session. We are going to continue making a whole new map from last time, but you need your old map, you need your papers, and you need your legend.
Especially this one, right?
Yes. And I'm going to take my mask off again so you can hear me. And the first thing I need you to find is your second sheet that says, because of COVID-19, I spend ... This is about what you do now. How is your life now? What is important now? Where do you go now? And so, just like last time, I want you to finish these sentences. So, for example, because of COVID-19, I spend most of my time at my house. Before, I said I spend most of my time at the house of someone I love. So it's different, yeah? So again, I want you to go through every single one and think about where you spend the most of your time, the less amount of your time, and none of your time. And you can see in mine, there are so many places here. Before, it was more even, yeah? But now it's all down here, and that's okay. So take a few minutes, pause the video, and complete this form. Just like last time when we made our first big map, we again need this paper, but we want the one that says because of COVID-19, and we need our legend. And do you remember how we had different sizes? Andre, how big is this one, the top one?
The top one is really big.
Good, very good. And this one, how big is this one?
Really small.
Good, very good. So again, we are going to use our legend in these places that we put on here to put onto our map. So if we come over here to my map, so this is my map from before COVID-19. And you can see my friend's house is the biggest thing on the map, maybe except for the mountains. And now, because of COVID-19, it's the smallest thing on the map because I spend none of my time there anymore. So in your maps, I want to see a big, well, maybe not a big difference, but I want to see a difference between these two so we can see where you spend most of your time before and where you spend most of your time now. Okay? So you need these two papers and a new map paper. And remember, we also need to put our volcanoes, our river, Rio Grande, the roads, and the mountains so we know where we are on the map. Great. So pause the video and let's draw some maps. Great. So now that we have both of our beautiful maps, we're going to take a look and see what's different between both of them. So first, we're going to have John explain to us what's different.
So some of the features became a lot bigger, and even some of the basic orientation features. Like I spent a lot of time on the river, a lot of time in the mountains, and a lot of time by the volcanoes at this point. Very little time on the roads during this period. My house became the place that I spent most of my time. Office, which was in work, is now just a little itty bitty place. It's kind of a medium-sized things. And then there's a bunch of things that are completely gone. The baths are gone. Spending time at Faye's house is gone. Prez is gone. And then I have two things that kind of moved down. I spend less time at the two businesses that I supported during this time through carryout. Tia's and the co-op are on there. And then my new favorite animal, the beaver is still on there, but my new favorite animal is my dog, because we spent, Wabi Sabi and I spent a lot of time together. Whether it's in the 60-foot chute became a place, which is in the foothills. So these four places I visit at least once a week, every week. I didn't do that until COVID came along, so that's my new normal.
Good. So we can see on John's map how his little house here is an average sized house. But in this one, it's so big. So when we look at the maps, we know that most of his time is at his house. But before, that wasn't true. So John's map does a really good job of showing the big differences in his life, and now we can see those differences. Great. Thank you so much, John. These are some beautiful maps. So now Andre is going to show us and talk about his maps.
Yeah, so here on my map, Savannah, you can tell before coronavirus, I like to spend a lot of time at my favorite restaurants, eating taco burgers, hanging out in the mountains, hanging out at mom's house in the parks, and definitely hanging out with my friends at the local community centers. After COVID-19, I spent more time at work, I spent more time at home, and more time at the grocery store preparing for this, and very little time at my favorite restaurants and the parks.
Yeah, very good, good. And yeah, and we can see on Andre this big taco, as big as a mountain, and you can tell that was really important. And now, because of COVID, it's a very baby taco, so not so much time there. So from these maps, we can see how Andre's life has changed. Great, thank you so much. All right, so now we have Michael, and he's gonna describe his maps.
Okay, so before COVID-19, I spent a lot of time at my house. But now my house is a lot smaller. That's a little weird, right? But that's because I spend a lot more time staying and living at the house of someone I love. And it's also the same house with my favorite animal. So that's why they're both a lot bigger. You can see before COVID-19, I spent some time at my favorite parks, but now they're so small because I don't go at all. And something else, I used to spend some time at my favorite place in the city. It's bigger here. Now I don't always go on the trams or go up to the peak, but I do spend a lot more time going to the mountains and hiking around. So that's why it's a lot bigger. Yeah. Everything here, like my grocery store, is about the same size because I still shop about the same. And the doctor's office is a little bit bigger because I've gone at least once to get tested for COVID-19.
Good, very good. So these are some great maps, and Michael did a really great job of sticking to his legend. So we know from his legend that that's a river. We know that that is a road. We know that this little dog right here is his favorite animal, and now we know where his favorite animal lives. So Michael did a great job of using the legend and showing us what his life is like, and we've learned a lot about all three of these gentlemen. So thank you all so much for participating. So that is the end of our map module. I hope you learned a lot about maps from John and why we use them and what's on them. And I hope you had fun learning about your life before and after COVID-19, and that you gotta draw some beautiful places. All of this, including, so we have 2 pieces of paper that are blank. We have a legend. We have 2 papers to fill out how you spend your time, and all of this information plus some instructions will be inside the grab and go that you will find
at the community centers. So when they come to get their grab and go summer meals, they can get this.
And we cannot wait to see your maps. So please submit them to the Facebook page, so that we can see how your life has changed and also get to admire your beautiful artwork. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you had a fun time.